Waking up once a night to pee? Twice? 3 times? You sit on the edge of the bed, blurry-eyed, wondering why your nights feel more like a series of pit stops than restful sleep. Maybe you've shrugged it off. It's just age, right? This must be my new normal after 50. You quietly adjust your lifestyle. No drinks after 6 p.m., planning your sleep around bathroom breaks. But deep down, you start to wonder, does it really have to be this way? What if it doesn't? Because here's the truth. There's one major myth about frequent nighttime urination, called Nocturia, that's been silently accepted for years, even by many well-meaning doctors. It's a belief that sounds logical, feels inevitable, but it's flat out wrong. And once you see it clearly, once you understand what's really going on in your body after 50, you might realize that better sleep, deeper healing, and fewer midnight wake-ups are still possible. In fact, the change could start tonight. So if you've ever wondered, why is this happening? Can I do anything about it? Or am I just getting old? Stay with me. Because what we're about to uncover might not just change your nights, it might just change your life. Here it is, the myth. The quiet lie that's been whispered so often, it started to sound like truth. Frequent urination is just a normal part of aging. You've probably heard it, not once, but many times. From your doctor, from friends, from that late-night Google rabbit hole. Maybe you even say it to yourself now, like a tired mantra, I guess this is just how it is after 50. It sounds reasonable, safe, comforting even, like a soft excuse to stop worrying and just accept the restless nights. But here's the problem. That sentence, that myth, it's not just wrong. It's quietly ruining lives. Let's be blunt. Nope, false, flat out misleading. And believing it, truly letting it sink in and take root, is what's keeping millions of people trapped in a cycle of exhaustion, anxiety, and silent health decline. It sounds harmless, but it's not. Because when you believe frequent nighttime urination is just a normal part of aging, you stop questioning it. You stop investigating. You stop believing your body can do better. You normalize waking up 2, 3, even 4 times a night, every night. You adapt your habits around the problem instead of solving it. No water after 6 p.m. Bathroom before bed. Before you leave the house. You're mapping your life around a bladder that used to behave. You write it off, even as it chips away at your energy, your focus, your memory, your mood. But here's what no one's told you. This isn't just about inconvenience. This isn't just about sleep. This is about your brain, your immune system, your hormones, even your heart. Because disrupted sleep, especially the kind caused by frequent urination, has a direct impact on every major system in your body. It weakens your deep sleep, the kind that heals and restores. It raises your cortisol, the stress hormone that steals your calm and your clarity. It can even increase your risk for serious conditions like high blood pressure, insulin resistance, depression, falls, and cognitive decline. That's the real danger of this myth. Not just that it makes you tired, but that it makes you accept things you were never meant to live with. It lulls you into thinking, there's nothing I can do. But that's not true. And this is where everything starts to change. Because frequent nighttime urination is not always just age. In fact, most of the time it's not. It's often a signal that something deeper is going on. Nutrient imbalances, hormonal shifts, circulatory changes, even hidden inflammation or poor hydration patterns. In other words, it's a symptom, not a sentence. And that means you have options, you have tools, you have the power to respond, not just react. So let's stop calling this normal. Let's stop pretending the best we can do is limit fluids and hope for fewer wake-ups. Let's start getting curious again. Let's start listening to what the body is actually saying. Let's start reclaiming rest. Because the truth is simple. You don't have to live your life around a bathroom schedule. You don't have to settle for fragmented sleep. And you don't have to believe a myth that's keeping you stuck. Your best nights are not behind you. They are still possible with the right understanding and the right support. So, ready to find out what's really going on? Let's debunk the myth and show your body the path back to deeper sleep and fuller energy. You deserve that much, and more. Yes, it's common to urinate more often as you age. That part is true. But let's not confuse common with normal. Let's not confuse what happens to many with what's supposed to happen. Because while millions of people over 50 wake up 2, 3, even 4 times a night to pee, that doesn't mean it's healthy, it doesn't mean it's harmless, and it definitely doesn't mean you just have to accept it. There's a difference between aging and imbalance. One is natural, the other is a signal, a message from your body that something's off, something that can usually be addressed. And here's the part that changes everything. There's almost always an underlying cause. Not just one, but often a combination of small, hidden imbalances that quietly build over time. And guess what? Most of them are fixable, treatable, even reversible. That's right. This isn't just about managing symptoms. This is about getting to the root of the problem and restoring your body's natural ability to sleep through the night without interruption. Because what you're experiencing now, it's not the end of the story. It's a chapter, one you can rewrite. Let's break it down together. Let's name the real culprits behind nocturia, the medical term for frequent nighttime urination, so you can see them clearly and start doing something about them. Here are some of the biggest, most common drivers. Poor hydration timing. You're drinking enough water. Great. But if most of that hydration happens late in the day, your kidneys keep working overtime while you sleep. That extra bladder pressure? It's avoidable with the right timing. Blood sugar imbalances. Here's a hidden one. Unstable blood sugar spikes stress your kidneys and increase nighttime urine production. Even mild insulin resistance, which becomes more common after 40, can disrupt your sleep in surprising ways. Weak pelvic floor muscles. It's not just a women's issue. As we age, both men and women can lose tone in the muscles that support the bladder. That means more urgency, less control, and more frequent wake-ups, especially at night. Sleep apnea. Yes, really. This might surprise you. Sleep apnea doesn't just affect breathing. It also raises nighttime levels of a hormone that tells your kidneys to make more urine. Many people with nocturia don't know they have undiagnosed sleep apnea. Medications. From diuretics and blood pressure pills to antidepressants and even over-the-counter sleep aids, many medications can increase nighttime urination. Sometimes the fix is as simple as adjusting the dose or timing with your doctor's help. Enlarged prostate for men? This one's widely known, but not always fully understood. Yes, the prostate can grow with age, but lifestyle, inflammation, and hormones all affect it. And in many cases, it can be supported without drugs or surgery. Hidden anxiety or chronic stress. Your nervous system runs the show at night. And when you're carrying unspoken tension, your bladder stays on high alert. Even low-grade anxiety can create a cycle of light sleep and bladder sensitivity. Each of these root causes tells a story, not of aging, but of opportunity, to restore balance, to sleep deeper, to live with more energy during the day and more peace at night. So if you've been told this is just what happens after 50, now you know better. It's time to listen to your body, not the myth. Because once you uncover the cause, you can start to correct it. And your nights, they can look entirely different. Here's the truth. And it's uncomfortable, but necessary. This isn't just about a few harmless trips to the bathroom. It's not just a minor inconvenience or a little disruption you learn to live with. Interrupted sleep is a serious warning sign, a blinking red light from your body that something important is off, and that the cost of ignoring it is far greater than a little daytime tiredness. Because every time your sleep is broken, your body misses a chance to repair, reset, and restore. And over time, that adds up. Not just to grogginess or low energy, but to real health risks, life-altering ones. Let's break it down. Cognitive decline. Night after night of fragmented sleep chips away at your brain's ability to function. You may first notice small things, forgetting names, misplacing items, losing your train of thought. But over time, it accelerates cognitive aging and raises your risk of serious conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's. Yes, your midnight bathroom trips could be quietly robbing your brain of protection. Increased risk of stroke. Poor sleep leads to higher blood pressure, increased inflammation, and poor circulation, all of which are known risk factors for stroke. And when your body is stuck in a pattern of nighttime stress and poor oxygenation, especially with sleep apnea in the mix, the risk rises even further. Falls and fractures. Getting out of bed multiple times a night, especially when groggy or half asleep, increases the chance of slips and falls. As we age, even one misstep can lead to a broken hip, a long recovery, or worse. It's not just a bladder issue, it becomes a full-body safety issue. Weakened immune system. Deep, uninterrupted sleep is when your immune system goes to work, repairing cells, fighting inflammation, destroying viruses, and precancerous cells. Without that sleep, your defenses go down, you get sick more often, infections linger, inflammation spreads, healing slows. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it makes you vulnerable. Mood disorders and depression. When your sleep is constantly disrupted, your brain struggles to regulate serotonin and dopamine, the very chemicals that govern mood, focus, and motivation. That's why chronic poor sleep is one of the strongest predictors of depression, anxiety, and emotional burnout, especially in adults over 50. So no, this isn't just aging. And it's definitely not something to brush off as a natural part of getting older. This is your body trying to tell you something, trying to get your attention, to warn you, gently at first, then more urgently, that something's out of balance, something needs care. And when you ignore it, you're not just losing sleep, you're losing the critical foundation your health is built on. So don't minimize it, don't settle, don't accept the myth that this is just the way it is now, because it's not. You're not broken, you're not too old, and you're not out of options. You just haven't been told the full truth until now. Here's the good news, and it's real, tangible, hopeful news. You're not stuck with this. Waking up to pee multiple times a night is not your destiny. It's not just aging. It's not irreversible. And no, you don't need to wait for a prescription or a diagnosis to start shifting your nights. There are things you can do, starting now, that send a powerful message to your body. We're getting back in rhythm. Even small steps can create momentum. And when you stack those small changes together, you open the door to deeper sleep, fewer wake-ups, and better mornings. So let's start there. No overwhelm, no perfectionism, just a clear, practical path forward, rooted in science and common sense. Start with these foundational steps. 1. Stop drinking fluids 2 hours before bed. Hydration is essential, but timing matters. If you're drinking most of your fluids in the evening, your kidneys keep working long after your brain wants to rest. By simply front-loading your hydration earlier in the day and tapering off 1.5 to 2 hours before bedtime, you take pressure off your bladder at night. This is one of the quickest ways to reduce unnecessary wake-ups. Pro tip: drink most of your water before 6 p.m., then sip lightly if needed. 2. Do gentle pelvic floor exercises. Your pelvic floor muscles support the bladder and help control urination. As we age, especially if we sit a lot or have had kids, yes, men and women, those muscles weaken. But the good news? They're trainable. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day of targeted Kegel-style exercises can dramatically improve bladder control and reduce urgency. And the results compound over time. Not sure where to start? Try tightening the muscles you'd use to stop urine midstream. Hold for 5 seconds, release, and repeat. Aim for 10 reps twice a day. 3. Get screened for sleep apnea. This one surprises people. Most don't realize that sleep apnea can trigger the release of a hormone, atrial natriuretic peptide, that increases nighttime urine production. Even if you don't snore loudly or gasp for air, if you're waking up tired and urinating multiple times, it's worth a conversation with your doctor. Sleep apnea is underdiagnosed, especially in women, and treating it can be life-changing, not just for sleep, but for heart and brain health too. Don't guess? Test. A home sleep study is simple and often covered by insurance. 4. Review medications with your doctor. Many common meds, including blood pressure drugs, diuretics, and even sleep aids, can increase nighttime urination. Sometimes it's a matter of when you take them. Other times, an alternative with fewer side effects may be available. A quick medication review could reveal an easy fix that restores hours of rest. Bring a full list of prescriptions and supplements to your next appointment, and ask directly, could any of these be disrupting my sleep? 5. Try calming herbs like valerian, passion flower, or chamomile. Sometimes it's not just the bladder that wakes you up, it's your mind. Herbal allies like valerian root, passion flower, and chamomile help relax the nervous system, reduce nighttime anxiety, and ease your body into deeper rest. They're gentle, non-habit-forming, and often work better than over-the-counter sleep meds without the grogginess. Start with a warm cup of chamomile tea after dinner, and consider valerian or passion flower in capsule or tincture form if anxiety is a factor. 6. Balance your blood sugar, especially at dinner. High-carb meals at night can lead to blood sugar spikes and crashes, both of which stimulate nighttime cortisol, the stress hormone that tells your body, wake up. That cortisol surge can also increase urine production and interfere with melatonin, your sleep hormone. The fix? Stabilize your evening meals. Include protein, healthy fats, and fiber. And avoid sugary desserts close to bedtime. Example, swap pasta or white rice for roasted veggies and salmon. Add cinnamon or apple cider vinegar to help regulate blood sugar naturally. And here's the most important step of all. Stop accepting the myth that this is just getting older. Because when you believe that story, you stop looking for solutions. You settle for exhaustion. You learn to function in a fog instead of living fully awake. But now you know better. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Start with one change, then another, then another. Each step is a vote for the kind of nights and the kind of life you want to have. You're not stuck, you're not broken, and you're definitely not too late. You're just getting started. You deserve deep, uninterrupted sleep. Not just a few scattered hours, not just good enough rest, but real sleep. The kind that heals your brain, restores your energy, resets your hormones, and helps you wake up feeling like yourself again. You deserve to sleep through the night without jolting awake at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and 5 a.m. You deserve to open your eyes in the morning with clarity instead of fog, with calm instead of dread, with energy instead of exhaustion. And yes, you deserve that at 50, at 60, at 70, and beyond. Because age doesn't disqualify you from rest. It makes it more essential. So if you've been told, directly or silently, that disrupted sleep is just something that happens, if you've been led to believe that your best nights are behind you, or worse, if you've started to believe it yourself, it's time to stop. Because the truth is, poor sleep is not a requirement of growing older. It's not the trade-off for hitting a certain number. It's not your new normal unless you decide to accept it as such. The very first step to reclaiming your sleep? Not a supplement, not a test, not a fancy gadget. It's something far more powerful. Stop believing the myth. Start believing your body. And start asking better questions. Questions like, oh, what's really waking me up? What might my body be trying to tell me? What if this isn't aging, but an imbalance I can fix? What would change in my life if I actually felt rested again? Because your body, even now, is not failing you. It's not broken. It's not beyond repair. It's simply communicating in the only language it knows, symptoms. It's whispering, hey, something's off. Let's fix it. And when you listen, truly listen, everything can begin to change. Not overnight, not instantly, but steadily, powerfully, and naturally. Sleep is not a luxury, it's your foundation, and you're allowed to rebuild it. So take the first step. Shift the story you've been told. Drop the myth and pick up the truth. You're not too old to sleep well. You're not too far gone. And you are absolutely not stuck. Your body is wise. It's still listening. Now it's your turn. If this message opened your eyes, if it sparked even a small shift in how you think about your sleep and your health, please take a moment to show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. Every like is more than just a click. It's a vote for better health, deeper sleep, and a stronger, sharper life at every age. It helps this message reach more people who, just like you, have been quietly struggling with frequent nighttime wake-ups, foggy days, and restless nights. And here's where you can make an even bigger difference. Think about someone in your life who wakes up too often at night. Maybe a parent, a partner, a close friend, or a coworker. Share this video with them, because you never know how one simple act, one click, one share, could be the catalyst that helps them reclaim their nights and their health. It could be the key to unlocking better rest, more energy, and a renewed sense of vitality for someone you care about deeply. But there's even more. You're not alone in this journey. You've found a community here, a growing tribe of super-agers who refuse to accept decline as inevitable, who are committed to aging boldly with clarity, strength, and joy. Not quietly, not resignedly. Together, we're learning how to protect our brains, improve our sleep, boost our energy, and live life on our terms well into our 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. So if you want to keep discovering practical, science-backed strategies that help you sleep better, think clearer, and live stronger every single week, hit that subscribe button now. Become part of this movement. Join thousands of others who are rewriting what it means to age well. Because aging isn't about slowing down, it's about thriving, growing, and shining brighter every year. Remember this: sleep better, live stronger, age boldly. This is our mission. This is why we're here. And with every video, every tip, every insight, we'll be by your side, helping you take control of your health, your sleep, and your life. So don't wait. Subscribe now. Your best years are not behind you. They're waiting ahead, full of energy, clarity, and possibility. Let's make every night restful, every day vibrant, and every year your strongest yet.